You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension, a dimension of sound, a dimension of sight, a dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Yes, and will that be all then?
No. What time is it in England?
I thought you made an appointment.
I did. Oh, come on, honey. You're not in that much of a hurry, are you?
Yes.
What about Mad Cow Disease?
Well, clear the room then. Tell them they're keeping the head of McClellan Enterprises waiting. Tell them that we...
All right.
You want to forget the whole thing?
No, I don't want to forget the whole thing. I just want to get this nonsense over with.
Send you a postcard.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Bon voyage.
Ta-ta.
Yes, ta-ta.
Come on.
Hello. May I help you?
Mr. Spirito?
I am he.
We're the Ransoms. My wife called for an appointment.
Oh, yes. Please be seated. Now, where exactly do we intend to go?
We intend to go to London.
Splendid. Of course, you've been.
Oh, no.
Charming place. You have picked a rather bad time of year, though, but...
Excuse me, we're kind of rushed today. I wondered if you'd...
certainly. Now, have we decided on an airline?
No.
Well, then, if I may suggest...
We're not going by plane.
I beg your pardon?
I said, we're not going by plane?
Ooh, but you must, unless you're planning this for some time in the future.
No, it has to be right away.
Oh, then I'm afraid a ship would be out of the question. You see, it's the off-season, and the liners have all been booked up, or put on short runs.
All of them?
All the acceptable ones, yes. I hope you won't mind my saying this, Mrs. Ransom, but, you know, airplanes are perfectly safe nowadays. I realize that some people feel a certain trepidation, but there's absolutely no reason...
Eileen, if it's the only way.
May we see a list of boats that are running?
If you wish.
You promised.
I know.
It's important, Alan. We agreed on that.
I'm afraid these are the only passenger-carrying vessels bound for England in the next 30 days. Some are freighters, but it's sometimes possible...
What about this one?
The Lady Anne? I don't think so.
Why not?
Well, it's very nearly the oldest ship in the water, and the slowest. 13 days to Le Havre. Another half day to Southampton.
Forget it.
No. Wait. This says it leaves on Thursday. We'll take it.
Please, Mrs. Ransom, the Lady Anne is a veritable antique.
Listen to the man, Eileen. We can relax when we get there if that's what you want. Don't make such a big deal out of it.
It is a big deal to me, Alan. A very big deal. Give us 2 tickets.
For this relic?
Yes, that's right. The Lady Anne.
Oh, very well.
A few extra days won't matter, will they?
I don't have anything better to do. Check okay?
Of course, sir. But, Mrs. Ransom, the Caravan Travel Agency takes pride in its service. I beg you not to do this.
Well, it isn't going to sink, is it?
With a ship that old, you can't tell what might happen.
Oh, give me that check. Here. We'll pick up the tickets. Come on, Alan. You can go back to work now. Thanks for your help, Mr. Spirito.
Very well. Bon voyage.
portrait of a honeymoon couple about to embark on a journey. Like most newlyweds, they've never traveled a great distance together, nor have they become truly acquainted. But there is a difference. These newlyweds have been married for 6 years, and they're taking this honeymoon not to start their life together, but to save it. Or so Mrs. Ransom believes. She's not sure why she insisted on an ocean liner, except that it will give them some much-needed time together, even if it is the Lady Anne. The tickets read New York to Southampton, but this old ship is bound for a very different port. Its final destination? The Twilight Zone.
And now, The Twilight Zone and our story, Passage on the Lady Anne, starring Martin Jarvis and Rosalind Ayres with Stacy Keach as your narrator.
Perfect. A foggy night. Can't even see the ship. Where is everybody?
Already on board. We're a few minutes late.
I was ready. If you hadn't taken so long packing...
There it is! Oh, Alan, isn't it beautiful?
No, not it. She. The ship happens to be a lady.
Sorry. She's beautiful.
Indeed she is. Oh, yes.
There's the gangplank, is that what they call it? Come on, Alan.
I can hardly wait.
No, from the descriptions, we were expecting a cross between a kayak and the Flying Dutchman.
You're seeing someone off?
No, we're passengers.
What? How's that?
Passengers.
Oh, no. No. I hardly think so. No, you see, this is the Lady Anne.
Toby, please. You have no right to badger them.
Be quiet, woman.
Well...
Now, young fellow, look here. If you'll consult your tickets, I think you'll find there's been a mistake. I repeat, this ship is the Lady Anne.
And I repeat, there's no mistake.
Show me your tickets.
Why should I do that?
Call it curiosity. Do you mind?
Go ahead, Alan.
Oh, all right.
Let's see. Mr. and Mrs. Alan Ransom, New York to Southampton.
You're not going to read the fine print, too, are you?
Well, they seem to be in order.
Thank you. It's good to know that.
Well, there must be an error. This is a private passage, you might say. A mistake in booking it. No, it's a terrible mistake.
Come along, dear.
But, Millie, I don't understand. I really don't.
I said come along.
Well, I guess that's how the British say welcome aboard.
Oh, don't get your back up. You'll be twice as cranky when you're his age.
Bet we can beat him up the ramp.
Not too late to turn back, you know? I mean, think of being cooped up with me for 14 days.
I made a promise and I'm going to keep it. Isn't that good enough?
Sure.
Not very steady. Really gives you confidence, doesn't it?
At least try to enjoy this.
One moment, please. Your names?
Ransom?
Yes, I see it on the list.
Do you want to see our tickets, too?
Everything seems to be in order, sir. Stateroom 24 down that flight of stairs.
Thank you.
Oh, here we are.
Yes, here we are.
Good evening.
I say, you're not going to let them do this, are you?
I'm afraid it's out of my hands.
Out of your hands? Well, we'll see about that.
I hope they got the luggage on board.
It'll be waiting in our room. You'll see.
It better be. We're due to take off in 10 minutes.
Take off?
Sail. Disimport.
I think it's disembark.
Right.
Alan, you have to admit, it's a real showpiece. Did you notice this carpeting? And the oil paintings? And brass everywhere.
Great. Where's the bar? I could use a drink.
Number 24. This is it.
What in the...
Alan, look! It's like an old-fashioned drawing room with a tapestry and gold everything. Pigeon's blood vases.
I don't believe it.
Are those plaster cupids on the ceiling? Oh, it's marvelous! And the canopy bed.
Shaped like a swan.
It's got a goose feather mattress. Oh, Alan, isn't this fabulous?
It's probably the most ridiculous room in the entire world. You realize that?
Probably. It is.
And you actually like it.
Don't you? Look at this chest. It must be 100 years old. A bowl of fresh flowers on top. And even a box of candy. Shaped like a heart.
At least the luggage is here. No kidding. You think we can take it for 2 weeks? I mean, with all this...
There's the whistle. Come on, let's go up on deck.
Why?
Why? That's what you do. Haven't you seen any movies? Hurry.
Those are the ones I mean, Burgess.
Not the ones going with us.
Yes, I tell you.
Nonsense. Obviously a silly blunder.
No. They have tickets.
Calm yourself, Mackenzie.
This needs to be settled at once.
Very well.
Here they come.
Hello. Hello.
How do you do?
Oh, very well, thank you. Now then, no doubt you young people aren't aware that this is a rather, well, how shall I say, private sort of cruise, you see. Very tight. Dear me, yes, unquestionably a slip-up on the part of the,
Look, mister, we're getting a little tired of this routine.
Try to understand. There hasn't been any slip-up. This is our ship, and we are sailing to England on it.
Her.
What did I tell you? They're determined.
This is bad news, very bad indeed.
Oh, really? For you or for us?
Don't argue with them, Alan.
See here, please, this may seem odd to you, but we are actually trying to be of help.
Yes, exactly so. You see, there are things you don't know about this ship.
Yes.
But what does that mean?
Well, for example, it isn't common knowledge that...
Burgess.
No, Mackenzie. We've got to tell them.
But...
this vessel is over 50 years old.
We knew that.
Oh, but there are other things you couldn't possibly know, because you haven't had time to look.
Such as?
Well, she's falling apart everywhere. The deck chairs wouldn't support the weight of a baby.
Well, yes, that's true. And the staircase is about to collapse at any moment. And the food, dreadful. It's positively poisonous. Ptomaine, you know. Yes.
But the worst of it is the danger at sea. Those boilers, not to be trusted. They've been ready to burst for years.
Oh, yes, for years. So you can see how impractical the whole idea is.
There's just one thing.
Yes?
If it's such an awful, dangerous ship, what are you doing on it?
What? Oh. Yeah, well,
We're old. And eccentric.
well, yes.
Well, we're young and eccentric. We like impractical things, the challenge and all. Besides, we think it's an absolutely charming boat.
Oh, last warning. They'll be pulling away the gangplank at any moment. Look, you'll be quite bored.
We never get bored. Do we, Alan?
Nope, not at our age.
You're sick, then. Yes, you'll get sick. No stabilizers. She rides like a washing machine, I can tell you.
Sounds like fun.
I think I've heard about enough.
Wait. I have my checkbook.
What's that for?
I am prepared to pay you double the amount of your tickets.
This is ridiculous.
No, I want to hear it. Pay us to do what?
If you will abandon your plans, I'm sure you'll find another booking, something more suitable.
That's a very generous offer.
Yes, very much more suitable.
Alan, you're not considering it, are you?
Well, what do you say?
Not a chance.
Triple the amount, then.
Yes, triple.
No.
Very well. I am forced to extremes. Sir, madam, if you will leave the Lady Anne at once, I will give you the equivalent of, let me see, 50,000 American dollars.
50,000 American dollars. Yes, which I will match. Well, I haven't got it all on me, but
Making it a total of 100,000.
Yes, 100,000. Well.
You're talking my language now, gentlemen.
Alan!
Let's say pounds sterling, shall we?
In pounds?
Or better yet, an even $250,000 U.S. currency will be fine.
No, that amount is completely unreasonable. I'm sorry. No.
In that case...
But...
Sorry.
Let's go, honey.
You must reconsider. You don't understand the implications.
Look, fella. Ever since we picked this tub, people have been doing their best to discourage us. I don't know why, and I don't care. But if you're worried about brash Americans crashing your cozy little tea party...
No, it isn't that at all.
Forget it. From now on, leave us alone.
I'm proud of you.
Thought I'd take the money, didn't you?
Well, for a minute there, I didn't know. Oh, look! We're moving!
Off to a great start. I could use that drink now.
Me too.
Too late.
We did our best.
We should have tried harder.
But the funds he was demanding... highway robbery.
Nevertheless, it was our duty.
The duty of everyone on board.
Who knows what the consequences will be? I fear we should have done whatever was necessary to keep them off this ship.
Alan?
Yes?
You're already dressed. Why are you up so early?
It's almost 11.
Don't tell me you're nervous. We're not going to let two cranky old men spoil our second honeymoon, are we?
A lot more than 2. Better get dressed. Fire drill's in 15 minutes.
What? Honestly, you could at least tell me what this is all about. You act as if we're going to an execution.
There. See for yourself.
Look at all of them.
and all wearing their life preservers.
Oh no. Alan, some of them are even on crutches.
And wheelchairs. Pretty hard to stand for inspection.
Is that what they're doing?
Apparently it's a safety requirement.
Well, there was the Titanic.
I picked up a few more names. The Mackenzies, of course, and Mr. Burgess.
How could I forget?
The one on the end is named Van Vlyman. Next to him is Mr. Bristow.
Cooey! Hello there. Care to join us?
Yes, do join us. Hello.
In a moment, Mrs. Mackenzie. You don't suppose that everyone else on this ship is...
Everyone. I checked this morning. The youngest person I saw was 70.
Oh, but that's silly. It must just be the first class section.
There aren't any other sections. The entire ship is first class.
You mean they're all?
Show some respect. This group alone represents several thousand years.
All for fire drill practice.
Remember, Eileen, getting there is half the fun. Chin up.
Your life jackets.
Oh, thank you.
Now then, as soon as you're all ready...
I think the straps go over your shoulders.
Like this?
That doesn't look right.
Psst. Do you need help, dear?
Good morning, Mrs. Mackenzie. As a matter of fact...
You should put your arms through the hole.
No. Let them learn for themselves, dear.
I was just trying to make it easier. See you later, then.
Yes.
Do the best you can. We look like a couple of clowns at a funeral.
Now then, in the event the balloon should go up, the alarm will sound. Proceed to the Imperial deck in a calm, orderly fashion and await further instructions. The groups will be divided in the following manner. Group A, Mr. and Mrs. Huntley Small, Mr. and Mrs. Mackenzie, and Mrs. Scott Aylesbury.
Here we are. The Imperial Lounge.
Looks like we're in time for the noon orgy.
Alan, I think it's elegant. Like a private club.
That's the problem. We're not members. This isn't a ship. It's a floating rest home.
Shh.
You wish something from the bar?
Do you suppose you could fix us up with 2 double martinis? Very dry?
Yes, sir.
Alan, I'm sorry. I didn't know it would be like this. But it doesn't matter that much, does it? We didn't want to mix with other people anyway. We wanted to...
Stop saying we. If you'd listened to me, we'd be in London by now.
And you'd be in a business meeting.
Not necessarily.
Yes. And it would be the same the next day and the next and... Oh, Alan, that's what this is all about. Don't you see?
Your drinks.
Thank you. Look, I know you've been unhappy, but do you think I enjoy working 28 hours a day?
It comes down to the same thing, doesn't it? We never see each other. We never talk, or...
I told you, after I close this deal, I'm going to start taking it easy.
Which is what you said 2 years ago. You closed that deal, but it didn't make any difference. There were more deals. There'll always be more deals. Because that's all that matters to you now, isn't it? Bartender, another.
Yes, ma'am.
Try to control yourself.
I have been controlling myself for 6 years, and I'm tired of it. I am tired of begging for little bits of your time. You're not interested in me anyway. You're interested in success. Fight your way to the top and then fight to stay there.
Stop making a scene.
Why? Does it take your mind off mergers and board meetings?
No, it takes my mind off the fact that we're supposed to be on a trip together.
Come off it, Alan. You're going to England on business. I happen to be along. That's all. Why? Because I insisted. If I hadn't, you'd have gone alone. Isn't that true? Admit it.
I can't talk to you when you're like this.
You made me like this. Because the truth is, you don't care anymore. I was stupid to think that a few days together would make a difference. You're a flaming success now. Alan Ransom, the financier. And I'm the nagging wife who doesn't understand.
Eileen, please.
What's the matter? Are you afraid they'll catch on? Don't worry. They think we're a happy couple. Made for each other.
Shut up.
Yes, sir. Well, when this tub finally gets there, you can relax. Because I'll be leaving.
That might be a good idea.
Oh, it is. You'll have all those nice deals to keep you warm with no silly woman around. It should be marvelous.
It will be. For now, I'll be on deck reading the Financial Times. Here's for the drinks.
I say, you two, excuse us.
Not you again.
Well, yes. Well, not really.
How do you do, dear?
Nice to see you, Mrs. Mackenzie.
If you don't mind, I'm trying to read the paper.
My wife, Millie, yes. Well, I say my wife, I mean we would very much like you to join us for tea, if you'd be so kind.
Because I'm wearing my tweed jacket?
No, no. Tweed jacket, I see. That's I see we're very British. No, we simply want to chat.
Is it a date, then?
I don't...
We'd be delighted. In about an hour?
Yes, in the Imperial Lounge.
We'll see you there. And thank you.
Not at all. An hour, then. Jolly good. Looking forward.
Why did you do that?
Because you and I don't have anything more to say to each other. You know it's true. We're finished. But you said it yourself. We're stuck here. So we might as well call a truce for now and make the best of it.
Agreed.
Hello. Over here.
Hello again.
My dear.
So glad you could make it.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Do sit down. Do sit down. Not at all. Nasty day. What? Now look. The reason for this meeting, apart from the pleasure of your company, is well...
Go ahead, Toby.
Yes, thank you. Millie, that's my wife, Millie pointed out that we've all been, well, something less than hospitable to you, if not rude. And so I expect I ought to apologize.
And do you?
Oh, yes, most sincerely. But you see, there is something more important. Good news, in fact. Yes, we've been talking the whole thing over, and we've decided that you won't have to leave the ship after all.
We won't? Say, that is good news. We were afraid we were going to have to swim back, and it's had us sick with worry.
Really? No. I see. I see. Very good. No, I'm sorry about that, my boy. But we were quite concerned, all of us, as I dare say you gathered. You see, it simply hadn't occurred to us that an outsider would ever want to travel on the Lady. The last time she took on a new passenger was, well, according to Captain Prothero, was some 16 years ago, so you can understand. Yeah, but never mind that. It's all settled now.
What's all settled, Mr. Mackenzie?
Oh, no, we'll get to that in good time.
You simply must forgive us. We can't have been very good company so far.
Well, frankly.
Yeah, the point is, we spent a good many fine hours, Millie and I, my wife Millie, on this old, scow.
And when we heard they were going to retire her, well, it seemed right somehow that we should join her on her last return voyage.
Yeah, absolutely. And the same is true of the others. Yeah, well, the other people. Yeah, and that's what accounts for the number of senior parties aboard.
We didn't understand.
No.
And you still don't, really. More tea? It's quite bracing.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, one thing that hasn't changed. Yes, tea is still the best in the world.
What about the others, Mr. Mackenzie?
What, the others? Oh, yeah, yes, like us, as I said. Sentiment, you know.
Of course they know, Toby. Why else would they have chosen the Lady Anne?
Yes, that's true.
Our story isn't so different, I guess. My husband and I had never really been alone in 6 years.
Excuse me. I'm going to get us a drink. Scotch all around?
Oh, yeah, well, splendid. Thank you.
He's embarrassed, isn't he?
I seem to be doing that to him all the time now.
You were saying the two of you hadn't been alone?
Well, he's a busy man. You get wrapped up in things if you want to be the best, and I don't know. When I heard he was going on a business trip to England, I made him promise to take me.
But that doesn't explain the Lady Anne.
No.
No, I suppose it doesn't. Mostly it was the time. More days together. And, well, it just seemed kind of special.
Oh, my dear, the Lady Anne is special.
Very special.
More special, I should say, than either you or your husband could imagine. You see, this is the ship Toby and I sailed on when we were married, which would be 53 years ago.
52. Yeah, she was a splendid thing then. The ship, I mean. No.
Oh, Toby, really?
I thought you told us it was an old rust bucket.
Not it. She, yes. Oh, I should have been struck down by lightning for such a fearful lie. Mrs. Ransom, mark this. The Lady Anne was the finest ship that ever crossed the sea. Queen of the fleet, she was.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Is, Mackenzie, is. No other ship can touch her.
Quite right. Sit down, Burgess. This is an old companion of mine, Ian Burgess, Mrs. Ransom.
Ah, yes, congratulations.
I don't follow.
I hear there's been a decision made in your favor.
Not now.
Nonsense. Quite a relief, I must say.
What is?
Why, what else? My good lady, you are in luck.
How so?
Well, haven't you told them? It's about you and your husband. It seems you won't have to die after all.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
What did you say?
He said you won't have to die after all.
Of boredom, he means. Well, don't stand there like a ninny, Ian, tea all over you. Yeah, but sit down, sit down.
Yes, to be sure.
Sorry, I seem to have spilled my tea.
Yeah, well, you see, Mrs. R., she was the only one of her kind, specialized in honeymooners. That was her freight then, yes. Oh, yes. Young people in love. Ah, marvelous.
The drinks.
Ah, yes.
You see, that's what makes your presence so...
Sweet?
No. Well, it was that. It certainly was that. Young married couples, you see, that's all you'd ever see. Full of juice and the moon in their eyes. All those children trying to act grown up and worldly and used to it. And everyone as nervous as a mouse. Yes.
But that sort of thing, it lasted for only a few days. The Lady Anne gave them time to know each other. Oh, she was a wise ship. Cheers.
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 Everything was arranged for young people. Love has its own point of view, you know. It sees things larger than life. Nothing is too ornate or too fancy or too dramatic. If it is a good love, it demands the theatrical and then transfigures it, turns the grotesque into the lovely, as a child does. With it, we can see what we wish to see in people. Without it, we cannot see at all. We can search forever. How a shipping line ever found that vision, I cannot imagine. But they made the Lady Anne into an enchanted gondola and took that moment of happiness and pure sweet pain all lovers have and made the moment live for 2 unspeakably pleasant weeks.
Yeah, well, they get the drift, my dear. There's no need to go gooey.
But I feel gooey.
The same is true for all of us, actually. Bolshia Jones and his wife over there, the bald chap. Engineer in his day, and a good one. The Whiteways.
Next to them, Lord Bristow, with his cigar. Nice enough, but he's getting on.
And there's old Champion. Innes Champion, the writer, adventure stories, that sort of thing. Quite a droll fellow, though you wouldn't guess it now. Widower, you know. Aye, and his wife. There was a wild thing. She passed on in... Oh, can't be sure of the date.
What about you, Mr. Burgess?
The same. We'd planned this trip together, but...
Have you a picture?
In my breast pocket, over my heart.
She's very beautiful.
Ah. Oh, my dear, please. This is purely temporary. I shall be with her soon.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, there, dear. It's all right. None of it really matters if you're in love. You are in love, aren't you, Mr. Ransom?
Yes, of course.
Well, that's the only thing that counts, you know. Everything else perishes.
Now you've made her cry.
Oh, perfectly all right. I cry all the time, don't I, Toby?
All the time.
Well, I don't. Why don't you two go out and get some fresh air? Do you good. Fog or no fog.
That might be a good idea.
Yes. We'll see you later.
Of course you will.
I think they're all very, very nice.
What is going on? The sun.
What about it?
It's behind us. It was over there, and now it's... We're heading north.
So we're heading north.
north.
We should be heading east.
Blame it on me. Everything else is my fault. Why not this?
There you go, starting again. I don't know what I'm doing here. Look at them down there playing shuffleboard. Or sitting, wrapped up in their blankets. Really, Eileen, this whole idea was ridiculous. Eileen? Eileen, where are you? Eileen? Eileen!
I thought you did get rather gooey there, my dear, but you know, I rather liked it.
Gooey.
No!
Oh, Mr. Ransom.
I say, is something the matter?
I can't find my wife. We were standing over there at the rail. She was right behind me. You don't think anything could have happened to her, do you?
Oh, I doubt that. It's rather difficult to fall overboard.
Oh, yes, yes.
Eileen! 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 Eileen? Stuart, have you seen my wife?
No, sir, but I wouldn't worry.
I want this ship searched.
I'll take the liberty of alerting the crew. Have you tried the library?
Eileen?
Not here, sir.
But she's got to be somewhere.
Still looking, sir.
Haven't you found her yet?
Easy, sir. We'll let you know.
Eileen? Eileen, where are you?
I say, not turned up yet?
No, I searched everywhere.
She'll turn up. Have a nip with me. Come on, boy. Let's go inside. Yeah, maybe she's inside. Come on. Let's go into the Imperial Lounge, what? Two whiskeys. Make 'em strong.
I can't believe it. She's gone.
It does seem that way. But of course it isn't so. You've just missed her.
You don't know how much.
A toast to the Lady Anne. Here, here.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The Lady Anne. Yes. It's a pity. What's going to happen?
A crime. An evil, black-hearted crime.
Easy, Burgess, easy.
Easy? Gad, they want to scrap the lady.
Outlived her usefulness.
Nonsense. A little slow, perhaps. Speed. That's all that counts now. Why? What's the rush, eh, Ransom?
I see your point.
Freddie, another gin. That's the state of the world today. It's a plot, doubtless of communist origin.
Who wound him up? Burgess, do sit down.
Haven't you eyes, man? The Lady Anne was condemned because she represents a better way of life. She's grace and manners and tradition. She's the Empire.
I say, somebody turn him off.
Silence, Adicott. The beasts are at the gate, and we stand about like statues, with our medals gone to rust and our swords broken. Soon they'll reach up their hairy hands and pull the Queen down from her throne. Scrap the lady? They'll scrap the world.
Poor chap. He'll feel better later at the party. Another drink, Mr. Ransom. Mr. Ransom?
Pour me one, too.
Honey, where have you been?
I decided to take a nap on our swan bed.
You mean you were here all the time? But I've been searching for you.
I'm here. I've always been here.
Oh, Eileen.
Are you drunk?
Maybe so, or maybe this is the first time in 6 years that I've been sober. What's that you're wearing?
The nightgown? Oh, Mrs. Mackenzie gave it to me. She wore it on her honeymoon.
It's beautiful. You're beautiful. This whole stupid world is beautiful.
What happened to you?
I don't know. But I'm going to try not to forget. I'm going to try very hard.
Oh, Alan?
Will you look at all this? Balloons, ribbons.
Over here!
Join us, please.
Mrs. Mackenzie.
Come on, drink up. The champagne's getting warm. Well, you found her.
Oh, you're as bad as Alan.
I think we'd like you to meet Captain Prothero, Mr. and Mrs. Ransom.
Happy to meet you, sir.
My pleasure. You've had a pleasant voyage, I trust.
Oh, yes.
We're grateful to be a part of it.
Indeed. Your presence has been good for us as well. You packed your things?
Shh. They don't know yet.
Oh. Well, I suppose it doesn't matter.
Know what?
Nothing important. If you'll excuse me, I have to make some preparations. Be back shortly.
You look positively radiant, my dear. The Lady Anne has worked her magic on you.
She... and you. All of you.
I'd forgotten some things. How to relax. I was so busy, I lost sight of what's important. It won't happen again.
I say, let's drink to that.
Have the engines stopped?
Oh, nothing to worry about. Cheers.
Mr. Burgess, why are we having a party now? We're only partway there.
You'll understand soon enough. Who needs a reason to party?
Mrs. Ransom, may I have this dance?
I have been waiting for someone to ask.
Mrs. Mackenzie? I'm not very good, but...
Oh, delighted, Mr. Ransom.
Oh, splendid. Oh, very nice.
Well, I see they haven't gotten them fixed.
What?
The engines.
The engines? Oh, there's nothing wrong with the engines.
Ready now? Your luggage has been collected.
Luggage?
Really? Should have told them.
Didn't want to spoil the party.
Excuse me, but what are you talking about? Why should our luggage be moved?
Because, my friends, we're putting you off the ship.
You're what?
Are we in trouble?
No, nothing like that.
They'll come to understand.
Maybe so, but we don't understand now, and we're not going anywhere until we do.
I'm afraid there isn't any choice. Follow me, please.
Alan?
Is this some kind of gag? You don't just put passengers off a ship in mid-ocean.
Steward,
Captain!
Draw your pistol.
Yes, sir.
You're kidding, aren't you?
If you'll do as the captain says. This way.
I tell you what, we'll all go.
Alan, what's going on?
You can't be serious.
There's nothing to worry about, my boy. Your exact position has been radioed. Even now, help is on the way.
Alan, I'm not kidding.
Captain, this is outrageous.
No luggage is in the boat. Flowers, a tin of biscuits.
Champagne? I thought of that.
The lifeboat sends out a signal so you'll be picked up straight away. Everything you need.
Except a reason.
It's time we were off.
Into the boat with you.
No, please,
But why? Is it something we've done?
Not a bit of it.
Then tell us. You can't do this without a reason.
Cause, my boy, you can't go with us. Not yet.
Yes, come along.
Not where we're going.
No.
Step carefully, please.
We liked you people. We thought you liked us.
They do, Alan. Don't you see? They do.
Lower it away.
Don't forget the blankets.
Alan, look. Everyone's at the rail.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
I say, what are those papers, dear?
They're your letters, Toby. Don't you remember, dear? I've kept them for so long.
You're throwing them overboard.
They deserve a proper burial at sea. I won't be needing them now, will I?
No, dear. Not anymore.
Listen, the engines are starting again.
They're moving.
So are we.
We will. I promise you.
Here's a blanket.
I don't need it.
Aren't you cold, darling?
Not with your arms around me. I don't think I've ever felt so warm in my life. Do you think we'll see them again?
Yes. In fact, I'm sure of it.
Lady Anne never reached port. The ransoms were picked up by a cutter a few hours later, just as the captain promised. They searched the newspapers but found no mention of the Lady Anne. The ship, with all its crew and passengers, went down in the mid-Atlantic, or so it was said. But Alan and Eileen knew better. They knew it had sailed on to a better port, its final destination on a distant shore called the Twilight Zone.
Hi, this is Carl Amari, producer of the Twilight Zone radio dramas. I'd like to take a moment to tell you about our official website at twilightzoneradio.com, where you'll get the latest news and information on these Twilight Zone radio dramas. Plus, at twilightzoneradio.com, you can digitally download 3 free episodes or any of our episodes for only $1.95 each. In this age of ever-changing technology, we've decided to make these episodes instantly available to you by making the Twilight Zone radio dramas a digital download-only series. This means that this series will no longer be offered on CD. The CD collections at our website are now being offered, while supplies last, at buy one, get one free. So be sure to get your favorites before they're sold out. Be sure to visit us often, and I'll see you in the zone.
Passage on the Lady Anne, starring Martin Jarvis and Rosalind Ayres, with Stacy Keach as your narrator, was adapted for radio by Dennis Etchison and written for The Twilight Zone by Charles Beaumont. Heard in the cast were David Pasquesi, Anne Somerville, Jim McCants, Joby Cerny, Eleanor Weingart, Martin Astrop, and Nick Ruddle. The producers of The Twilight Zone wish to thank CBS Enterprises and the Rod Serling estate for making this series possible. This copyrighted radio series is produced and directed by Carl Amari and Joby Cerny for Falcon Picture Group. Sound design and custom Foley effects for The Twilight Zone by Cerny American creatives Bob Benson, Craig Lee, Matt Sorrell, Tim Cerny, and Todd Byer. To learn more about the Twilight Zone radio dramas and to contact us, visit our official website at twilightzoneradio.com. This is Doug James speaking.